Right, hello. Back at might be a familiar location, the place that I shot the Audi TT review. Today I'm looking at a further two cars. The first of which I'm actually going to show you the key first, because I'm quite pleased that we've been able to get one of these arranged so that I can actually film it for you. So, bring it into shot. That's a Range Rover key, that's right. What we've got today is got a 2013 Range Rover Evoque. So let's just dive in, shall we? And you step inside to a Range Rover interior. Now I know this is the compact SUV Range Rover, it's the smallest that they make, but by no means is it a cheap interior. Let me just move the seat back. Or is it poorly equipped? So this SD4 model, you've got push button stop start, so I will just, so you put your foot on the brake, and there you go, it starts up. You've got a lovely LCD display there, between the rev counter and the speedometer, and that does read out things like who's got their seatbelts on. It will flash up with sat-nav instructions, etc. The steering wheel, I don't know how really to get this across in the video. It is a lovely size, it's just right, and actually it moves out towards you. This is slightly angled, so you really feel like you get hold of it, and although this is a compact SUV, you really do feel like as soon as you sit down here and touch the steering wheel, you want to drive it. The controls on the steering wheel are going to be quite familiar in terms of Jaguar Land Rover controls. So you've got cruise control down here, menu controls here, audio controls here, telephone controls here. You have got paddle shifts on the back for the automatic gearbox, where you've got the Jaguar Land Rover rotary selector here. So you've got reverse, neutral, drive, and I believe you push it down and over to go into sport. Let's just put it back into park so that it doesn't drive off while I'm doing the review. You've got heated seats, which are controlled by these buttons here and there as well, and you've got all your air conditioning controls here. You have got quite a nice screen there with the Evoque sort of outline in it while it's turned off. Now in terms of the multimedia controls, the multimedia interface, Jaguar Land Rover have brought out a new system since this one. This is a 2013 model. Have brought out a new one since this system, and it is considered to be better. They were thought to be behind the times a little bit in terms of Audi, BMW and Mercedes in terms of their driver interface and computer, etc. But I'd be quite happy with this. What I do like is the way the dash sort of connects. So you've got here this armrest here, which does have storage underneath it, cup holders there, and your off-road select there. This does sort of all go, and then it slopes up to the dash. And the dash, this isn't the leather dash, but it is topped with a fabric, and it's really nice to touch. And this here, this is sort of like almost like brushed stainless steel, which again is just really good quality, really nice to touch. Everything that you touch, as you would expect for a vehicle sort of in this price bracket, is really nice to touch. It's got electronic handbrake, which works automatically with obviously the gearbox in terms of shifting you off, etc. The seats are so comfortable, so comfortable. They've got loads of support, and go just about the right sort of height for your head. And you can see here you've got supports here starting, I mean up here, that's not usual really. This bolstering support's really thick but really comfy, and actually still gives you plenty of space within the seat. And then you've got lateral support down here to stop any sideways movement, which actually for a vehicle that does have genuine off-road ability is good, because you're not going to want to get rocked about too much. Now, one of the party pieces of this vehicle, this particular one, is you've got an absolutely enormous panoramic sunroof. It stretches all the way to the back there, which makes the car feel really light. You can electronically bring the shade forwards. And I just see, you can see actually, you know, in terms of the amount of light this brings into place. There we go. So let's turn the engine off, get in the back. Now in terms of sitting in the back, the theme really of comfort and luxury continues. I mean, the seats, again, they're really cosy. Obviously being a compact SUV, the middle seat is small. You don't have much of a transmission tunnel, so that should be okay. But you do have, obviously, what you're probably going to use it for most frequently is this armrest, which is actually quite spacious, really good for sort of two people. Cup holders with sort of springy bits here to hold the cup in place, and a little bit of storage there, not particularly big but still nice to have and convenient. Sitting in the back, this car has the Meridian sound system, so an upgraded sound system, so you've actually got 2 speakers in the back here. I imagine that probably pumps out quite a bit of power. As I say, transmission tunnel isn't actually too big, and you have got cut out bits in the footwells. The footwells are quite big themselves, so you know, you could have 3 across and it not be too much of a problem. Again, the seats in the back, you don't often see this, the seats in the back are shaped, you know, if you get there, so you do continue to have support in the back, both at the bottom of the seat and the backrest, and the headrests are really nice and soft and just cosy. The whole thing, I would say, is pretty cosy, and even though it's got the coupe roofline, it's not too cramped in the back here. You don't feel sort of hemmed in or anything like that. And even with the panoramic sunroof, which will take some space out of the roof, plenty of space. I love this. I love it. I wish my car had one, because sitting in the back just turns into something completely different when you look up and you see that. So this is the boot that you can open on the key fob with this button here, or with a button located just under the rear windscreen. It's nice and big. You've got no load lip there, so it'll be easy to get things in and out. And actually, the load lip in general, if I squat down, isn't too high. See the nice twin exhausts there, isn't too high, so it should be quite easy to load up. And you can, of course, fold the 2 seats in front down with a 60/40 split. It's not an electronic tailgate, so you will have to close it yourself, but I don't really think that's too much of a challenge. Now it's a little bit hard to get during the daytime. I've got the engine running because I need to have the lights on, but you've got quite a nice LED sort of headlight setup. The LEDs are the ones that are flashing and moving around, because LEDs aren't constant light. They flash so fast that to the human eye they appear to be, but it's not actually the case, and the camera picks that up. You have got this lovely grille as you move across, with the Land Rover badge and the Range Rover one across the top, which obviously we're all quite familiar with. And there's the headlights on the other side. And you do have fog lights down here for if you get stuck in bad weather. So there you go, just a quick walk around the Range Rover Evoque. As I say, it's a 2013 model SD4. Just a quick walk around. I can't drive it today, but for insurance reasons, wouldn't dream obviously of getting on the road without insurance, certainly with a car that costs more than I can afford.